Alright guys, and welcome back. On today's little review, I'm actually going to be reviewing two lights that I picked up on Amazon. Both of these lights were under $20. Now I will be putting a link in the description on where you guys can purchase these two lights. So the first light here is actually a COB LED, and it comes into a small box. This box itself, I would say, is probably about, 4 inches, maybe 5. Give or take. And the package contents in the box are the light itself and a USB charger. So I'm going to start with the light. The light itself is actually pretty heavy for it being such a small light, so that indicates that the battery on the inside is actually a pretty decent size. The light swivels, and the tension of the swivel mechanism itself is very tight. I have to put some force onto it in order to make it move. And the light itself also swivels. The charging port is a micro USB charging port. Very convenient that you can basically charge this wherever you guys want. Try to show it to you guys. And the dust cover is actually of very good quality. Now the way that the light feels is actually very smooth. It doesn't feel like if it's a cheap material. It also has a charge indicator light right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that one. And it comes with a hook. And it swivels. Now, the hook is just basically a piece of wire that they attach to it, but the tension on the hook is good. It's not going to flop around needlessly. Now, the only thing I would like to see is maybe a small little cap onto this area, just to cover the hook area. Now, another feature with this light is that it does have a magnet at the end. How strong the magnet is, I'll be going over that in this video also. We're going to see how much weight it can actually hold. And after that, we're going to unbox the other light and see how it compares to this one. And it does basically a 360-degree rotation swivel. Now the total length of the light when it is extended to fully is 10 inches. When it's folded over, it is 5.5 inches. That's light number one. So here's the second light. This is also a COB LED light. Now if you guys don't know what a COB LED light is, so COB stands for Circuit On Board LEDs. So basically, instead of having individual little LEDs, it has a printed circuit board that has the LEDs into them, and that's on this the yellow area right here. So it's more compact and it dispenses the light more evenly than a traditional LED. So you'll have less hot spots and glare coming from the lights. So with that being said, the contents of the box, we have the light, and we have a micro USB charging cable. Now the micro USB charging cable is universal. You can plug it into any outlet or even in your car and charge your light. So that's another reason why I picked both lights. They are both micro USB. You can charge them anywhere. Now, the light itself comes with a magnet. How strong this magnet is, I'm going to put it to the test with what I have here. It comes with a hook. The case seems very solid, and holding it in your hands isn't uncomfortable. Now, Charger port for this one is located on its side. And it also has a dust cover. Now the dust cover I am liking less than the other light, just because it really does not want to stay in place. And that could be because they put a little ridge on the inside of it. I don't know if my camera will pick it up. We'll see. Probably not. Yeah, well you can see it right there. So as you can see, there's a little ridge onto the cover, and it's supposed to insert into the micro USB port, slot to protect it from dust and water, but it's really not working. So now the magnet portion, which is right here, you can actually lock it and unlock it, and when you unlock it, you're able to actually take and turn this and swivel it. So it actually gives your light 360 degrees of rotation. And it also gives your light a pivot point. And then once you get your pivot point where you want it and the angle of light where you want it, then you just you lock it up, and it does not move again. Now the dial right here, this is your selectable dial for the light intensity, and it's adjustable. Now the COB LED, if I'm not mistaken, is 7 inches long on this light, and the light intensity of this one is supposed to be from 400 to 800 lumens, so it can get pretty bright. And you guys, this one does also have a charge indicator, as you can see it right here. Now the expected working hours for this light is roughly between 2.5 to 3.5 hours of work. Of this light is supposed to be between 4 and 4.5 hours on the full intensity. And that's pretty much it for the unboxing of these two lights. And now we're going to get into the review of both. So for the review of these two lights, I'm going to be comparing them side by side. So it gives you guys a better idea of which one you might want, or if you guys were thinking maybe of purchasing a new light, it gives you a very good comparison between one and the other. And hopefully this eliminates some of the questions that you might have about them. So first things first, we're going to go through through the key points. The COB LED, which they call a eye shield LED work lamp. That's what they call this guy right here. And this one right here, they just call it a work light. Now, with that being said, you can see a considerable difference in the length. So the eye shield LED work lamp is actually going to be longer, and the weight of both of them are pretty much the exact same. This one being I would say a little bit heavier, just because the battery is actually bigger and the magnet onto it is actually a little bit bigger. But besides that, there's not a comparable difference. Now with that being said, all the weight of this one is at the bottom. So if you guys would go and drop this light, it would have a tendency to more or less flip towards the bottom. Where this light is actually heavier onto the top. So if you guys would drop this light would have a tendency to go this way. I know it sounds weird with this side being so much bigger, but all the weight is actually up here. Now, both of them have hooks, but this one is not slotted, as you can see. So this one you have to have something that is actually protruding out in order to put it on. Where this one has a hook, so it can wrap around stuff, and you can actually hook it on and just leave it hanging there. Now this hook right here takes and it swivels back and forth, and there's no clip to actually hold it in place. It just swivels, that's all. This one, it swivels back and forth, and there's a clip that actually locks it into place. Now the magnets on both of these are a little, there's a major difference in the both of them. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look close, there's actually a square imprint. Now that's where the magnet sits, and it's actually inside on top of it. So it's actually like inserted inside, and it's not flush. So that takes away a little bit of the magnet's clamping force. Now, with that being said, the magnet itself is actually pretty strong. It can, if you can get it onto a flat surface, it can hold a 5-pound weight no problem. Into an example. Now, this magnet is a lot bigger, and it is a lot stronger. This one, if I only have a 5-pound weight, and it picked up the 5-pound weight, and it held, it wasn't budging at all. So this magnet is a lot stronger, and on top of it, this one has a stationary magnet, so it's just going to stay into one spot. But this one, when you guys unlock it, it'll take, and you guys can swivel it around. And you guys can place it, and the lamp actually turns 360 degrees like this onto the swivel point. So you guys can just take, and I'll just hold this in, and I'll spin the light, and as you can see, it spins. Now let's get into the light itself. This light is supposed to be 300 lumens. This light ranges between 400 lumens and 800 lumens. It is a bigger light, so it's normal, just normal that it is going to be brighter. Now, the maximum that this one will do is 300 lumens, and the minimum this one will do is 400 lumens. So, yeah, just giving you guys a little example of both of them. Now, I'm going to be going out to my vehicle. It is nighttime here, so it's going to give a really good indication on how bright these lights actually are. And I'm going to go out to my vehicle, and I'm actually going to take and light up compartments in the engine compartment and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, you guys are going to see I am actually outside now. It is nighttime. It is nighttime. And there's my vehicle. Now, I want to do this more at night just because it gives a better effect on how bright the lights actually are. So, as you can see, this is my engine compartment. You guys can't see anything. Now the first light I am going to do, I don't know if you guys will be able to pick it up. Probably not because it's so dark. But it is actually going to be the work light. That's the small little light. Now, on the first setting it's super bright. So let's see how bright. And that's the small at 300 lumens. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually very, very, very bright. I'm going to turn it, that's the medium. And then, like I told you guys, it gives you guys a little like flashlight, torchlight, and it's not very bright. And this is it off. Can't see anything. Now I'm going to turn it back on. There you go. And that's a small one. So it is very, 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 very bright. Okay, now we're going to go with the bigger one. This is the COB LED, and this one actually has, like I stated before, a variable resistor on the inside, so it can change the light intensity. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. To turn it on, you just have to flick it, and this is on low setting. That's the lowest setting on this light. And as you can see, it's still pretty bright. Okay, now I'm going to turn the dial, and we're going to make it brighter. Okay, and then we can make it brighter. And then on max setting, this is how bright it is. And I don't know if you guys can. I'm actually very impressed with both of these lights right now. They are actually performing way better than what I thought they would. And then we can take and we can turn it back down. And now we're going to try out the magnet, see how good the magnet is. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to change the lock. I'm going to undo the lock, sorry. It's kind of hard with one hand, but I'm going to try my best. So I undid the lock. I don't know if you guys heard that. So now I can take and I can rotate this, the light, to give me a better view of my engine compartment and lock it in. Now it is on to a pretty good angle. Okay, and it's lighting up my whole engine compartment, no problem. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn this guy off. Now I'm going to go with the work light. That's a smaller light, which is right here. I'm going to stick him right next to it. And we're going to turn him on. And I'm going to turn him off. And turn them back on. And that's a small one. Okay, as you can tell right here, I have this one facing towards us. It's not on whatsoever, so it's not helping it. And that's the brightness of that one. Now this one, so like I said, this light does not have a swivel, but it does rotate onto itself. So if we take and we rotate it and then place it, because like I said, it is very stiff, and the magnet is not as powerful as the other one, but it will hold it in spot. So there you go. So I just rotated that about 9 degrees. And I'll go under 90, no problem. So that's it for showing you guys how bright these guys actually are onto the car. And now we can go back and finish the review. Now that you guys have seen what the lights can actually do inside an engine compartment, we can go over the LED itself. Now this one has a variable resistor onto it. So this one, the light intensity will change depending on how you turn it, and then it turns off. This light has 3 modes: bright, medium, and then a little flashlight up at the top. Now, the flashlight isn't that bright, as you can see. I'm pointing it right into the camera. Okay, I was thinking it was going to be a lot brighter than that, but if you're into a tight area and you got to try and just like really focus a little light beam somewhere, well, that's more than enough. Now, another feature with this light is this: if you take and you hold the power button, it turns into a red LED, COB LED. And if you press the power button one more time, it starts flashing for SOS, or help me. Now, with that being said, me personally, this light is a good light, but for automotive, they could actually change that red LED into a black light, and it would, so many more people would probably buy this light just because of that. Just because it's a low cost, and in my personal opinion, it is a high quality light. Just from the construction of it and the tension on all the parts and everything. It seems to be a very, very good light, and I'm pretty sure if it's taken care of, it will last a long time. And the same goes for this light right here. Now, the charge times for these lights. Now, that might be a downer for some people, because this light, from fully dead to full charge, is about 3.5 to 4.5 hours. This light, from full dead to full charge, you're looking for anywhere from, I'd say, a good 6 to 9 hours of charge, which is kind of excessive. Now, I think that the reason it's taking so long for the lights is because they put current limiting resistors into the lights for the charging circuit, so that the batteries do not get overcharged, because there are so many different chargers out there, and if you try to stick a fast charger on this guy, it's not going to work. okay, that it's going to take forever and ever and ever to charge because the fast charger is just putting out way too much voltage and way too much current for this little guy to handle. And it's the same thing with this one. So my best suggestion for these is, if you end up purchasing them, to take and just use a low voltage, low current charging socket to charge them, and that way the batteries won't get be damaged and they will last a lot longer. Now that's basically all there is for the review for these lights. Like I said, I will put links in the description if you guys want to go check them out yourselves, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good night.